Well, in some jobs you can change your workstation to fit you, but in many jobs you can't. For example, if you're a cashier in a big grocery store and there's a lot of cashiers and a lot of baggers, the short person has to use the same cash register as a tall person. The same way if you're bagging groceries, a short person has to use their muscles a little differently than a very tall person or an average sized person. Well, my course is primarily about reversing the things that happen to your body so that you can still continue doing things badly. It's best if you can modify what you're doing, even if you can't modify your workstation. For example, when I was in massage school, I worked for a temporary agency and they sent me to different places to work. And one of the places I worked for was a printing company, and they printed the circulars that were in newspapers. I think they printed the newspapers themselves, but that was in a different department than I was. And they also printed what's commonly known as junk mail, the circulars that get sent to residents. And there was a gal there who wore a wrist brace on her hand. It was made of leather or something similar to leather, and it allowed her wrist to be flexible, but if she had done her job differently, she probably wouldn't have needed it, because what she did, she took these bags of mail that were coming off the conveyor belt and flipping them behind her into a bin that had wheels. And when she did, her wrist would go like that. It was very painful to watch. And not only was her wrist going like that, but the shoulder. Now, if she had changed what she did by grabbing the mail bags close to her and moving the bin, which had wheels on it, next to her, she could have simply turned and left her hands in a neutral position. This is a neutral position with the back of your forearm, even with the back of your hand. That's the least stressful way to have your hands working. Well, if you're in a job where you're picking up things and putting them down, try and use your body as economically as possible. Don't use fingers when you can use a whole hand. Don't use reaching when you can have things close to you. Keep your shoulders down and relaxed instead of holding them up. Keep your body as relaxed as possible and your motions as efficiently as possible, and your body will thank you for it.